Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. A very good evening to you all, wherever you're joining me from. When you log on, please share, invite others to join. It's been a minute, hasn't it? A very good evening to you all. I hope you're doing well. When you join in, please share so that others will join as well. I hope you're doing well. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I see a few people joining on TikTok already. That's good. Please invite others to join in as well. A very good evening to you all. I hope you're doing well. When you join in, please share. Invite others to join as well. Just going to give you some immigration updates and I'll be out of your way. I'll take a few questions as well if you have any. I would love to know where you're joining in from. So please share and then let me know where you're joining in from. A very good evening to you all. Let's see what's happening on TikTok. That's YouTube. We are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube, and I believe Instagram as well. Please share, please share, please share, so that others can join in. I hope you're doing well. A very good evening to you all, wherever you're joining in from. I would love to know where you're joining in from. So please let me know. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining. If you can hear me, please let me know. If you can see me, please let me know. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And I believe we are live on Instagram as well. Please share, invite others to join. Oh, Mr. Bright, it's been a while. You're always around. You don't call me. You should call me sometime. I hope you're doing well. How is the family? It's always good to see familiar faces, the people that you know, the people you've always known. It's always nice to see you here. Thank you for joining. I hope you're doing well. Please send my regards to the family. A very good evening, good evening, good evening to you all. Please let me know where you're joining in from. I'm not sure what's going on Instagram, but there's a lot happening here on TikTok. TikTok, I hope you can hear me. I'm using this little thing here. So please let me know if you can hear me on TikTok. Yes, Mr. Brightete, please call me. Please call me. Let's catch up. Please send my regards to the family. A very good evening to you all. Please let me know where you're joining in from. And please share so others can join in as well. Please share. Let's invite others to join. Okay, let me know where you're joining in from. Oh, I'm doing well, for the one asking. I know it's been a while. I haven't been live, I think, in the last 2 weeks. But I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. I do appreciate you asking. Thank you. Okay. Please let me know where you're joining in from. Let's see what's happening on YouTube as well. And then on Instagram. I hope you're doing well. Please share. Please share. Invite others to join. Let them know we are live. Let them know we are live so they can join in as well. Please share. Invite others to join. I'm going to give you some immigration updates and I will be out of your way. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Queen, thank you for asking. I'm doing well. I hope you're good too. Yeah, work is good as well. Thank you for asking. I hope you had a wonderful week. Okay. All right. So let's see where people are joining in from. Okay, someone says they are joining in from New York. Thank you. California. TikTok is always fun. There's California, there's Atlanta, Okay, someone says Accra, Ghana. Oh, Lashibi. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining. If you have any immigration questions, please feel free to drop it in. I'll take a few questions after giving you some updates. I just have about four updates to give you, and I'll take a few questions, and then I will be out of your way. A very good evening to you all. Please let me know. Oh, California. Okay. There's another Dakota here on TikTok. Okay. All right. Utah. Oh, Jackie, it's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Akosua, my namesake. Okay, I'm your namesake. Thank you. I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. I hope you're also well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, someone says they're joining in from Sunyani. Okay, thank you for letting me know. TikTok is always fun, isn't it? Okay. Good evening, Miss Cookie. I hope you're doing well. Tough Cookie. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Please share, invite others to join. If you have any immigration questions, please type it in. Another person says they're joining in from Augusta. There's another New York. Someone says Dakum and Accra. That's good. Another person says Don Someone. Someone says I'm new here. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you for joining. If you're new here, please stick and stay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Someone says Virginia. There's Maryland, DC. Oh, quite a number of people in Atlanta. Okay. There's another New York, California. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. I am grateful. Thanks for spending some time with me. It's going to be very, very snappy. I won't take much of your time, but if you have any immigration questions, please type it in. I will take as many questions as I possibly can before I log out for the night. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining. Please follow our social media pages, AB Legal Consult, across all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok is the Immigrant Attorney, and then we also have a LinkedIn presence as well. My name is Akosua Owusua Kissi. I am an immigration attorney, the senior attorney here at AB Legal Consult. We are an immigration law firm here in Springfield, Virginia. We are licensed to take cases across all 50 states, so it really doesn't matter where you are. We can represent you in your marriage-based petitions, your employment-based petitions, the NIW, EB1, those looking to file O1s, we can represent you, the R visa as well, naturalization, your citizenship. If unfortunately you find yourself in removal or deportation proceedings, of course, we can represent you as well. We are located in Springfield, Virginia. Again, we are licensed to represent clients in all 50 states, so it really doesn't matter where you are. We can represent you. Someone is asking whether it's a good time to file marriage-based. It's a good time to file any immigration benefits. However, strategy is very important. You have to be strategic. It's important to be very strategic. Gone were the days where you could simply put pieces of papers together as evidence and submit it to the USCIS and you get an approval. It doesn't work like that anymore. You have to document everything, be very detailed in the evidence that you submit to the USCIS. And remember that you start building your evidence from the very first form you fill before you enter the United States. Your DS-160s, okay? Your DS-160s, the information you provide on there is crucial. So don't forget that. Is it a good time to file? Be strategic. Give me a call, 703-705-9905. Okay, there's another Augusta in the building. Okay, there's another person. Oh, someone says they're watching from Brazil. All right. Thank you for joining all the way from Brazil. Someone says I'm getting married soon to my US fiance, but I'm a little confused about when to have him file for me. Why are you confused about when to file? Is it that you don't have enough evidence? Is it that you just got married? Is it that you're uncertain about the marriage? Why are you confused? The law does not require or state a specific timeline within which you should file when you get married. However, it's extremely important that you are able to prove that your marriage is real. And that is where your evidence comes into play. All right. So long as you have enough evidence to prove that your marriage is bona fide, that your marriage is real, then you don't have to be confused. Give me a call, 703-705-9905. Okay. If you have dated this person for a while and you knew you were going to get married and you had documented the history of your marriage, you have evidence, you put evidence together, then you probably have made some inroads, which is good. However, it's important that we look at everything. Then we can advise you whether or not to file. And by everything, I mean every piece of evidence. Okay. It's not about the number of evidence that you have, like it is the quality of evidence that you have. One of the most important evidence to prove that your marriage is real is having a child. If you have a child with your spouse and you don't even have anything else, that alone is a strong piece of evidence to show that your marriage is bona fide. However, that alone may not be enough. And so it's important that we assess every single evidence that you have. Okay, gone were the days where you can live in state A, your spouse is in state B, and you can simply file for marriage based and it worked. No, there are a lot more pieces of evidence to submit. Remember that an officer is not looking at just one evidence to make a decision on your case. You're looking at all the evidence that you submit. So no one evidence is taken in isolation to make a decision. So tough cookie, please give me a call, 703-705-9905. You can also WhatsApp the same number as well. And then let's have a chat, okay? Let's have a chat. Okay, someone is already asking me about the final rule on duration of status for F1 and J1. It's actually the first on my list. I'll be discussing that shortly. And so please stick and stay, invite others to join, and then I'll give you all the latest updates on immigration and take as many questions as I possibly can. Okay, so keep your questions coming. I've also seen another question on public charge. Yes, I will be discussing public charge as well. So it's good you're here. Aruna, it's good you are here. I will be discussing public charge as well. Okay. Okay, so someone says, is it best to put in my documents for adjustment now or after midterm? What would that change? If you have enough evidence to prove that your marriage is real, whether you file it now or you file after midterm, the end result is probably going to be the same. Dre the Great, do you have enough evidence to prove that whatever petition you're filing is bona fide, is real, is legitimate? If it is, then give me a call, 703-705-9905. I'll be more than happy to discuss this with you. I'll be more than happy to review the pieces of evidence that you have, and then we can pick it from there. Tough Cookie is asking, what evidence exactly? Do you guys live together? So you need a joint lease, right? If you have children, then you need marriage certificates. If any of you have been married before, you have to establish that you're no longer married to your previous spouses. All previous marriages are over, right? So you have a divorce decree, a final divorce decree. You have enough pictures to prove that you hold yourselves out as a couple. Not selfies, okay? Your pictures cannot be selfies. One or two selfies it won't hurt you. However, all your pictures cannot be selfies. A joint bank account is also one of the evidence, Tough Cookie, to show that both of you are co-mingling your funds, you're putting your monies together. Joint insurance, very important as well. And then, of course, you need friends and family to attest to the fact that your marriage is real. And so, do you have family and friends that knew that you were dating, you've been together for a while, and you're actually married? So, you need that affidavit of support. Statements from friends and family. These are some of the pieces of evidence that you need. Um, tough cookie. These are some of the evidence that you need to prove that your marriage is real. The number again is 703 705 9905. 703 705 9905. Emperor, I've missed your question. I know you're saying I should answer your question, but please, 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 please repeat your question again. The number is 703 705 9905. TikTok is always fun all the time. It's actually the best place to be. When I'm not on YouTube, I'm mostly on TikTok. All right, let me give you a few updates and then I'll be out of your way. So effective September 15th, 2026, the Department of Homeland Security says that they are eliminating the duration of status that is issued to F1 students and J1 exchange visitors. So for F1 students, you know that when you enter the United States, you almost always have your I-94 with no fixed term. Most of the time, your I-94 states duration of status. And so that meant that you could remain in the United States for as long as you maintained your status and complied with the terms of your visa. So if you enter the United States on an F1 visa, then you're in school for 3 years. So long as you remain in school, that duration of status applies, right? Under the new rule, what is changing is that the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, says that instead of receiving an I-94 marked the DS to eligible non-immigrants, you are now going to receive an I-94 with a specific expiration date. Okay, you're now going to receive an I-94 with a specific expiration date. That is what is happening now. And the same is true for J1 exchange visitors as well. So the new rule is going to be applicable to F1 students, F2 dependents, J1 exchange visitors, J2 dependents, and I visa holders. So the I visa is for foreign media representatives. Okay. This new rule does not apply to H1B workers. It only applies to F1 students, F2 dependents, J1 exchange visitors, J2 dependents, and I visa holders, who are the foreign media representatives. Now, the major changes happening is that students will no longer be admitted for an indefinite period tied solely to the academic program. That is no longer happening effective September 15th, 2026. Now, instead of the CBP issuing an I-94 with the DS, the CBP would now issue an I-94 with an exact date of your authorized stay for F1 students and then J1, and then I visa holders as well. So now extension of stay will become more important. That means that when you enter the United States on the F1 visa, and the I-94 gives you a specific fixed date, what is going to happen is that before the I-94 expires, you have to file for an extension of your stay. Okay. So if a student needs additional time to complete a degree or an exchange program, then extending the form I-20 or the DS 2019 alone may not be sufficient under the new rule. All right. And so the students may need to file an extension of stay with the USCIS before the expiration of the I-94 or depart the United States and seek readmission. Now, under the new rule, the grace period would also be reduced. Okay. Now, previously, F1 students received a grace period of 60 days after completing their program. Under the final rule, which takes effect September 15th, 2026, that grace period is no longer 60 days. It will no longer be 60 days. It's going to be 30 days. All right. And so this gives students less time to prepare for a change of status, transfer school, or depart the United States. And of course, we know that the new rule by the DHS is giving government greater oversight, which has been the MO for President Trump. All right. So DHS has explained that the purpose of the new rule is to improve compliance monitoring, reduce visa overstay, because I mean there are times that people, F1 students, enter the United States. I mean they enter with the intention of remaining here, not necessarily to school. And so most of them enter the United States and say, oh, we couldn't pay our fees, then they don't defer, they just quit school, and then they are here. It's also one of the reasons why the DHS issued this new rule. It is also to prevent visa fraud, which is just what I stated, and enhance national security as well. Another reason they stated, the Department of Homeland Security stated, is that the purpose of the rule is to align F and J admission with fixed period admission system used for most other non-immigrant visa categories. And so for F1 students, for J1 and your dependents, please be on the lookout for that. So this final rule takes effect September 15th. If you're already in the United States on an F1 visa or J1 visa or an I visa, and then you have the DS, that this does not affect you. So the law is not going to go back to affect people like that. However, when you exit the country and then you come back into the country, then you're going to get that fixed date on your I-94. There's increased responsibility for international students, and so from September 15th, 2026, international students are encouraged to monitor their I-94 expiration date. Remember that your I-94 authorizes you to remain in the United States, not your DS, not your I-20, and definitely not the DS 2019. It is your I-94. And so you want to monitor the I-94 expiration date going forward. You also want to plan ahead for program extensions. You don't have to wait for your I-94 to expire before you file for extension. File extension request on time. And most importantly, please avoid remaining in the United States after the authorized admission period expires. And so keep an eye on your I-94. Know your I-94 expiration date. Stay in close communication with your DSO, your designated school official, or your responsible officer. And do not wait until last minute. If your program would extend beyond your authorized stay, please do not wait for last minute. All right. And it's important to always speak with an attorney. So please, remember that the final rule takes effect September 15th, 2026, and it's eliminating the duration of status for F1 and J1 visa holders. That's update number one. Update number two, which goes hand in hand with updates number one, is extension of stay under the new DHS rule. As I stated earlier, beginning September 15th, 2026, F1, F2, J1, J2, and I non-immigrants entering the United States will no longer be admitted under the duration of status I-94. You're going to get a fixed date, and it's important that you file extension of stay. All right, you always have to file an extension before your I-94 expires. And so just to sum it up, who would need an extension of stay in the United States? Of course, not everyone will need to file that extension of stay. However, an extension of stay will become necessary if an individual needs additional time to complete their academic program, extend an exchange visitor program, continue authorized research or training. You also need an extension of stay to participate in post-completion OPT or STEM OPT for the F1 students, and also to continue academic training. All right. You also need that extension to begin a new academic program while remaining in the United States. And the only form to use when filing that extension is going to be your form I-539. When the I-539 is approved, what is going to happen is that the USCIS is going to issue a new I-94, and that new I-94 is going to trump the old one. All right. It's important to note that an extension of stay does not extend your form I-20 or your DS 2019. Your extension of stay does not extend your form I-20 or your form DS 2019. Your school or program sponsor must first issue you with a new I-20 or a DS 2019. That is only if your academic or exchange program has to be extended. So you'll be issued a new one, and then you're going to submit that as part of the evidence for your extension of stay. Now, one of the questions that I have received is, what about students who are already in the United States? I think I hinted on that. So the new rule contains transition provisions, all right? And so students and exchange visitors who are already admitted under the old duration of status, which is the DS system, before the effective date, generally would not need to immediately file an extension of stay because the rule has taken effect. You don't have to do that. However, once you travel or exit the country and re-enter the United States, after that effective date, then you're going to be required to file that extension of stay. All right. So please keep that in mind. Again, check your I-94. Make sure you know when your I-94 expires. You cannot forget that, because that authorizes you to remain in the United States. Again, make sure you work closely with your DSO, which is your designated school official, or your responsible officer, and do not wait until last minute to file for your extension. All right. Okay. Update number three. Immigration update number three is that we all know there's an increased ICE detention at U.S. airports during domestic travel. I see a few questions on TikTok. Let me take a few questions and then I'll come back. I'll come back to it. Our tough cookie, the number again is 703-705-9905. 703-705-9905. Can I file for marriage based now? I'm not sure what is going to hold you back from filing. Again, it all depends on the pieces of evidence that you have. It depends on the evidence that you have put together, because you have to prove that your marriage is real. Kojo Richie, thank you so much. I am grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Someone is asking, are you indicating the visa ban affecting 39 countries could be reviewed soon? I haven't spoken about that. I'm not sure how you are able to insinuate that or refer that or infer that from anything that I have said. I haven't spoken about that. Anas, it depends. It depends whether you want a 30 minutes consultation or an hour consultation. But please head to our website, www.ablegalconsult.com, and everything is there. Okay, how much we charge for consultation is there. How long does ISISO 1 take to be approved? It all depends on the backlog. Okay. Mr. Jew says, is it for those who are now coming? Absolutely. So the new rule takes effect September 15th, 2026. It is not for those who are here, it's for those that are yet to come. It takes effect September 16th, 2026. Okay. That's a very good question in case there are people that missed the date. Okay, so it's for the new rule is going to affect F1 students, F2 dependents, J1 exchange visitors, J2 dependents, and I visa holders. Okay, I visa holders, J2 dependents, J1 exchange visitors, the F1 students, and F2 dependents. If I haven't mentioned any other visa category, please don't insinuate as part of it. These are the ones that will be affected. Someone is asking me how soon the immigrant visa pause will be lifted. I don't know. We all have to wait for President Trump. I don't know. All right. Okay. My sister won the DV lottery and is still waiting to be given an interview date. Is there hope? Fingers crossed. Hopefully she gets a date soon. Okay. Hopefully your sister gets a date soon. Can you touch on marriage based? I will at some point. I think I already touched on that, but I don't mind doing that again. I would definitely touch on that before I leave. Okay, any updates on the immigrant visa pause? Has it been lifted? No, the pause has not been lifted. Unfortunately, the pause has not been lifted yet. Is it going to be lifted at some point? I believe so. Is it possible to get the EB1 or the NIW from outside the United States if I have work experience? Absolutely. Absolutely. The EB1 and the NIW is not for people in the United States, physically present in the United States only. It's for everybody across the globe. And so is it possible to apply for the EB1 or the NIW from abroad? Yes, it is. Okay. And we can help you. Please head to our website, www.ablegalconsult.com. When you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see the EB1 or the NIW, not all, the EB1 and the NIW. We have a link there for you to complete the eligibility form. Please follow the prompt. Provide us with the answers and upload your CV. We will evaluate it and then come back to you if you're an eligible candidate for the EB1 or the NIW. If you are an eligible candidate, what is going to happen is you receive a link to schedule a consultation with us. If you're not an eligible candidate, in that email, we are going to make some recommendations on what you can do to build your profile. It is not illegal to build your profile. It is not wrong to build your profile. All right. So can an existing student with less than 1 year to the I-94 being expired file an extension after September 15th without going through the USCIS? You should be able to file your extension, yes. However, there has to be a basis for that extension. If you don't have a basis for that extension, it will not be granted. Okay. And so you should be able to file that extension, but there should be a basis. If it's to continue school, then that you have to provide evidence of that. If it's to seek medical treatment, you have to provide evidence of that. Whatever it says, there has to be a basis for that extension, and your evidence is going to help do that. Okay. Can they deny VAWA because one went to school coming in with B1, B2? So let me tell you this. When you enter the United States on a B1, B2, which is a non-immigrant visa, and then you file for an immigrant visa before 90 days, of course, you can be charged with fraud. Even when you file, and I have seen this, I mean, this year under this current administration, even when you file after 90 days, the USCIS may issue an RFE or a NOID requesting that you explain the change of intent from the non-immigrant to the immigrant visa. And if you're unable to provide a good explanation as to why your intent has changed, then of course your petition can be denied. It's also very important to note that it is not about what you're filing. When it comes to filing for VAWA, I believe most people know that the scrutiny level for VAWA is really low. And so the bar is really low. And so even when you put yourself on a dating market, you get married and it doesn't go well, then you quickly switch to VAWA. Gone were the days where the bar was really low. Now USCIS is even interviewing applicants who have filed for VAWA. Years ago, interviews were not being conducted for VAWA applicants, but now interviews are being conducted for VAWA applicants. And so, again, you have to have a strategy. It's important that you have a strategy. It's important that you prove that whatever petition you're filing is real. It's not enough to just put pieces of papers together and then submit it to the USCIS. Okay. All right. Updates number 3: increased ICE detentions at the U.S. airports during domestic travel. So, according to the American Immigration Lawyers Association, immigration attorneys across the country have reported an increase in clients being detained by the Department of Homeland Security while traveling in domestic flights. So, these reports from immigration attorneys have been corroborated, of course, by media outlets, and to be very specific, the CBS News, all right, and other organizations as well. The states listed where reports have been made are California, Colorado, Florida, Kansas, Texas, New Jersey, Virginia, where I am, Illinois, and then Florida. And so, who are the people that are affected? Who are the people that are being targeted? Those that are not in lawful status. Also, people that are in a period of authorized stay because they timely filed adjustment of status applications. Number 3, people that have pending or applicants that have pending asylum applications are also being targeted as well. And then applicants that hold valid employment authorization documents. Listen, having an EAD, I have a client who is in a detention facility now. And all this while, the client thought that, so the client had entered the United States as an asylum seeker. And I won't be able to give the details, but then there's a lot going on with this person. And at some point, the person gets the EAD, and he assumes that because he has the EAD, he's good, right? Having an employment authorization document does not confer on you any immigration benefits. If there's an allegation of immigration fraud, willful misrepresentation, that can be taken away from you. Okay, and so people with or applicants with valid employment authorization also being targeted. and then applicants that even possess advanced parole documents. What does this mean? This means that, of course, not every immigrant traveling domestically will be stopped or detained. However, it does mean that domestic air travel may carry increased immigration enforcement risk for certain non-citizens, especially those with unresolved immigration issues or pending cases. And so if you have any pending immigration application, if you have a pending asylum case, if you have a prior removal order, if you have an expired period of lawful status, or any uncertainty regarding your immigration status, it's important that you speak with an attorney before you travel, before you sit on a plane. Okay. Give us a call at 703-705-9905. Again, you can WhatsApp that same number and we should be able to assist you, listen to you, and then assist you. All right. DHS in the news again, the Department of Homeland Security has also issued a final rule on public charge. I believe sometime this week or last week. There's a whole video on our page on public charge. Now, what is public charge? Public charge is a determination in the assessment made by the USCIS to determine whether an individual is likely at any time to become primarily dependent on the US government for assistance. Okay. Now, what has changed in this new rule and when does this new rule take effect? So beginning September 18th, 2026, the DHS has eliminated completely the detailed regulatory framework that had governed public charge determination since 2022. So the framework that was used to assess public charge since 2022 is going to be rescinded from September 18th, 2026. Now, instead of applying that specific regulatory determination and factors, the USCIS officers who will be reviewing your adjustment of status petitions will now have a broader discretion to determine whether or not you, the applicant, is likely to become a public charge based on the totality of circumstances. Now, it means that there would likely be a greater subjectivity in adjudications until USCIS issues additional policy guidelines. And so from now until September 18th, if there are no additional policy guidelines, then of course there's going to be greater subjectivity. Now, what are some of the factors that a USCIS officer reviewing your adjustment of status is going to consider to make that determination whether or not you're going to be a public charge? Number one, they are going to consider your age. Sometime last year, I remember a 65-year-old woman had called me and said that she wanted to relocate to the United States. She's 65. I'm not saying that at 65 her life is over. That's not what I was saying. But during our consultation, I realized that one, she doesn't have any family member here. Number two, she's entering the United States on a B1, B2 visa. She stated in the consultation that people have said to her that when she enters the United States on a B1, B2, and then she overstays her visa, and then she gets married to someone at 65, she will be able to get some assistance. She also states she listed about 4 or 5 underlying health factors or conditions that she has. And so at age 65, with health issues, with no relatives here, nobody at all, to even, and I asked her whether she was going to even have a sponsor at some point, and she was unsure. She was clueless. She was only relying on information that people had passed on to her. So for someone like her, when she enters the United States and files for adjustment of status, USCIS is going to consider, and you know that when you file for adjustment of status, you have to undergo medicals. You have to submit some medicals. Even when you are undergoing consular processing, you have to submit medicals. And so for someone like her, her age is a problem. Her underlying health conditions is a problem as well. And so USCIS will begin will begin with the statutory factors, which is listed in the INA section 212A4B, I believe. And some of these factors are going to be your age, health, family status, your assets, resources, and financial status. Very, 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 very important. Your education and your skills as well. These are some of the factors that USCIS is going to consider in making a determination whether or not you are likely to be public charged. It's important to know that applicants that file for employment-based petitions, most of you have already established that you have some skill sets, you have some education, you have some income. If you file for the EB1, there's a category for high salary. If you file for the NIW, there's also one of the regulatory criteria for salary, right? The fact that you have earned some remuneration in that field, especially if you're applying for, if you're undergoing the exceptional ability standard and not just the advanced degree. And so the public charge would mostly affect family-based applicants than the employment-based applicants, only because employment-based applicants have already established that they have some education, they have some skill set, they have worked before. Are their age still going to be considered? Absolutely. Are their health going to be considered? Absolutely. But remember that the officers are going to consider the totality of the circumstances. So they are considering almost everything. All right. And so please, 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 when you're filing for your family-based petitions, especially the marriage-based petitions, there's one form which is very important, especially if your sponsor does not have enough income, and depending on your household size. That form is the form I-864. That form is basically saying that your sponsor is entering into a contract with the government that they're going to be responsible for you until you become a US citizen. And so that form is crucial when it comes to family-based petitions. Make sure that when you're submitting that form, you're putting in everything as far as your finances is concerned. You pay your taxes and any other assets that you have to declare all of those as well. Okay. Another update is that USCIS has tightened signature requirements. Again, we made a video on that, and that took effect July 10th. July 10th was when that took effect, July 10th, 2026. What is that signature requirement, and what is the USCIS looking for as far as signature is concerned? So the USCIS has stated that the purpose of that policy is to clarify what constitutes a valid signature. Number 2, to prevent fraud. Number 3, protect the integrity of the immigration system. And number 4, reduce delays caused by improperly signed applications. Now, what is a valid signature when it comes to this policy and then the USCIS? The USCIS has confirmed that a valid signature, number 1, is an original handwritten signature. Number 2, a photocopy, scan, fax, or other reproduction of that original handwritten signature. Number 3, an electronic signature only when the form is filed through the USCIS online account and the system specifically allows electronic signature. So these are the 3 things that the USCIS have confirmed to be a valid signature. Again, number 1, an original handwritten signature. Number 2, a photocopy, a scan, or other reproduction of that original handwritten signature. And number 3, an electronic signature only when the form is filed through the USCIS online account and the system specifically allows electronic signing. Now, what is not a valid signature? One of the biggest changes is that USCIS would not accept an image or a handwritten signature that is copied and pasted on a form. That is not a valid signature. Number two, a signature that is electronically affixed to a document after it has been signed separately. Again, that is not a valid signature. And number three, any signature that does not comply with the applicable regulations or forms instructions. And so, can the USCIS deny your case when you do not produce a valid signature? The answer is yes. Okay. But the trick is that previously USCIS will just reject the petition or the application, but now they will not reject it. They're going to process it. That means they'll process it, take the money, and deny the petition. They won't reject it. They will go ahead and deny the petition. And when that happens, it means that you have to refile. Okay, you have to resubmit the petition and pay fees again. So USCIS may request original signature. If you do submit a copy or a scan of an originally signed document, USCIS may request the original signed document. And so it's very important that if you submit a copy or a scanned one, make sure you keep the original, especially when you attend the interview. Even if the USCIS does not request for it, just have it handy. In case they request it, you have it. If they don't request it, that's fine. All right. Okay, I'll take a few questions. I have one last update. I believe that came in yesterday or this morning or yesterday about changes to US visa processing in Africa. That is going to be the last update, but I'll take a few questions now. And then right after the update, I will be out of your way. Okay. So another person is asking whether it's possible to file for the EB1 and the NIW from abroad. Yes. We have lots of clients abroad. Some are waiting for their visas after the approval, and some we're still waiting for their decisions from the USCIS. Their petitions are pending, so you don't have to be physically present here in the United States to file for the EB1, to file for the O1, or the NIW. It's okay if you are not here. What is going to happen is after you receive the approval from the USCIS is going to notify the National Visa Center that this person has an approved I-140. And then the National Visa Center is going to process your visa. And so you're going to receive notification to upload some civic documents, make additional payments. And then when you become documentarily qualified, then the National Visa Center is going to alert the consulate, and you attend your interview. You enter the United States with your immigrant visa. You pay your immigrant visa fee, and then your green card will be mailed to you within 120 days. And so you do not have to be here to file for the EB1 or the NIW. Okay, someone says that USCIS has lost my visa packet. Due to that, my green card can't be produced. They ask for reconstruction. That's quite interesting, Marie. Please give me a call at 703-705-9905. Okay. Beauty says my question can't be contained here. Okay. Beauty, please WhatsApp me at 703-705-9905. Please, when you send WhatsApp messages, just go straight. Go straight ahead with your question. The hello, hi, how are you? Like you say hello, and then you go away, expecting a response, and then you come back, hi, and then you go away. You know, how are you? And you go away, expecting a response. Please don't do that. When you WhatsApp the number 703-705-9905, it's okay. Don't ask me of how I'm doing. Just go ahead. It's nice to say good afternoon, good morning, whatever it says, and then just go ahead with your question. Don't send the questions in bits. You say hi, and then you're expecting a hi back before you come in with your questions. Please, when you WhatsApp that number, Go ahead with your questions. Go ahead with whatever issue you have. I will read it and I'll respond. But if you come and say, hi, how are you? And then you're waiting for me to respond and say, I'm doing well. And then you come back. No, just go ahead, drop your question, and I'm going to respond. Okay. All right. If a person came on F1 and then left the US, are they banned? I don't know what answer to give you. When you entered the United States on the F1, did you comply with the regulations of your F1 visa? And I know you don't have a name, user 123 at 345556. Did you comply with the regulations of your F1 visa? Did you exit the country when school was done? Was there any criminal issues going on there? Were you removed? Were you deported? What really happened? If you had no issues with law enforcement and you complied with the strict regulations of your visa, no unauthorized employment, and you were good, and then you exited the country, I'm not sure how you will be banned, but I would love to know more, and then I would be able to give you an answer. Okay. All right. If you flee the United States while in process of filing an application, will you be barred from ever traveling through again? If you flee the United States while in process, in what process? Now, if you have a pending petition, you file for your adjustment of status, and then you exit the country without a travel permit, then that petition is deemed to have been abandoned. Does that mean that you have been barred? No. Again, unless, of course, there are some underlying factors. And I have come to learn that there's always an underlying factor that clients or applicants will not tell you, especially in sessions like this, so I can understand. But I would love to talk to you, if you don't mind, so I can understand what the issue is, and I would be able to tell you whether or not you're likely to be barred from entering the United States. Okay. All right. Beauty says, please, can you touch on EB2 NIW, employment-based green card? Okay. So the EB2 NIW is part of the employment-based visa pathway that gives you a green card. The NIW is a self-petition, right? Meaning that you don't need an employer. Generally, for all employment-based visas, you need a sponsor or you need an employer, except for the EB1 and the NIW. Now, for the NIW, the underlying eligibility criteria, the basic is that you have an advanced degree. An advanced degree is a bachelor's degree plus 5 years of progressive work experience, a master's degree, or a PhD. That is an advanced degree. Now, after you have met that criteria, that basic eligibility criteria or standard, there are three main prongs that you have to meet, or three main prongs that must be established. Number one, that your endeavor has substantial merit or national importance. When we say an endeavor, a proposed endeavor is that thing that you intend to do, and only you know that thing that you intend to do in the United States. But whatever it is that you intend to do must benefit the United States. It must have one, an inherent value, which is the substantial merit. So your endeavor must have an inherent value, and then it has to benefit the United States. It has to align with the national policy, and it has to benefit the United States. It doesn't have to benefit the four corners of the organization only, but then the impact has to be broad. It has to go beyond your employer or the organization that you work for. So if your endeavor is a regular 9 to 5 work or job, then that endeavor would not have substantial merit, because then would not have national importance, I beg your pardon, because then it's going to benefit just your employer. And so the endeavor has to benefit the United States as a whole, even if it's going to benefit one person. Now, you have to be well positioned. That is prong number 2. You have to be well positioned to advance that proposed endeavor. When we say someone is well positioned to advance a proposed endeavor, we are saying that based on the things the person has done before, based on the education that the person has, based on the skill sets that the person has, based on the experience that the person has, the person is likely, in this case, the applicant is likely to advance or see through his or her endeavor, right? So in this case, we're looking at your academic credentials, we are looking at your certifications that you have, your experience. I tend to tell people that we are looking at your blueprint. What have you done in the past to show that because of this skill set, because of this experience, because of this education that you have, because of this leadership skills that you have, because of this membership, because of these certifications, you will be able to see through your proposed endeavor. Now, your proposed, you the you don't have to be able to see through your proposed endeavor. It shouldn't be 100%, okay? But is it likely that you'll be able to advance that proposed endeavor? Is it likely that you're going to be successful at that proposed endeavor? That is prong number 2. So you have to be well positioned to advance or see through that proposed endeavor. And it's all going to be based on the things you've done in the past. It's all going to be based on your certifications, your memberships, and stuff like that. And then prong number 3 is more of a balancing test. I always tend to think of it that way. Initially, I mentioned that you need an employer for employment based, right? The third prong is basically taking everything as a whole. How is it going to benefit the United States? Why should the USCIS waive labor certification? So that's where you make arguments for labor shortage. You also make arguments for the fact that whatever it is that you intend to do, you would be able to see through it. So it's more of a catch-all for prong number 3. So beauty, that is basically it. Again, you don't have to be physically present in the United States to file for the NIW or the EB1. If you have enough time, let's say you came in for school and you have plenty of time, then of course it's a good time to file for the NIW. If you enter the United States on a B1, B2, and you're looking to file for the NIW, chances are you don't have much time, especially if you don't want to undergo the premium process or pay for premium processing, then you really don't have much time to do that. And when it comes to employment based, you have to be legal to be legal. You have to be in legal status to move to another legal status. And so it's very important that you have enough time as far as your stay is concerned, your authorized stay is concerned, to be able to file for any of these petitions. However, if you enter on a B1, B2, and you're able to, you position you position yourself well, such that after the 90th day you've been able to establish that you want to remain here, and then you do the premium processing, which buys you time, 15 days, you should be able to get a decision on your I-140. Then you can go ahead and file for your adjustment of status, whether for the EB1, which is current, and then the NIW, which is also current. Now, the NIW is not current for everybody, but at least for the rest of the world category where most of my clients fall in, we know that it's current. And so you can file, you can do concurrent filing, or you can simply wait for your I-140 to be approved, and then you file for your adjustment. So beauty, there you have it, okay? You're welcome. You're very, 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 very welcome. Okay, Organic says, good evening. Thank you. Good evening. Someone is asking whether I am an immigration lawyer. How do I answer that? Organic, please, I am. Okay. Michael, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is it possible to file for my parents here and still go for vacation while the process is pending? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Why can't you? You're a US citizen. You're filing for your parents. You want to know whether you can travel. Why can't you travel? I understand there's a lot happening, the news, but it's also very important the pages that you follow. Okay. And whenever you're in doubt, please speak with our attorney, grab your phones, call our office 703-705-9905. Okay. I know there's a lot happening. There's a fear, there's the alarm, there's a panic. Also, there are misleading headlines. Okay. So please, please, please make sure that you're not being misled. If you're a U.S. citizen and you don't have any issues going on, why, well, and you're filing for your parents, why can't you travel? You should be able to travel. Okay. Please, 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 please. Can you touch on Form Form I-130? Form I-130 is that form that is used to establish or demonstrate the relationship between the petitioner and the beneficiary. So if you're filing for your spouse, I-130 is going to help you tell the story about you and your spouse. So it's going to establish that relationship. If you're filing for your parents, it's going to do the same. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. It's 6:40. We would log out for the day, but yes, our number again is 703-705-9905. That number is also, it has a WhatsApp presence. You cannot text that number. It's a Dex phone. So when you text that number, it won't come through, but that number has a WhatsApp presence. So please feel free to send your WhatsApp messages. Again, when you're sending your WhatsApp messages, please don't do it in bits. Don't say hi and go away expecting a hi back, or good afternoon expecting a good afternoon back. No. When you send a message, please just go ahead. It's okay. Don't even ask how I'm doing or how we are doing. We are okay. Just go ahead and drop your questions, and then we would respond. But if you do it in bits, you may not get a response, to be very sincere with you. Because someone will come and say good afternoon, go away, and then come back and say hi because there was no response. And then come back and say, hi, my name is, please type in your questions and then just leave it. We will definitely respond. Okay. The number again is 703-705-9905. 703-705-9905. Okay, someone says, do I have to do biometrics after my green card is expired? Not really, but chances are yes. It depends. When did you get your initial green card? When did you receive your initial green card? Okay, Prof. Success, I shouldn't close. I'm sorry, we have to, it's Friday. What goes into a strong EB2 NIW? The foundation, having done this for a while, having filed the NIW for different people, different walks of life, different profession, different countries. The foundation for the NIW is your proposed endeavor. That can make or break your case. It has to be specific, but it also has to be detailed. It has to have national impact or national importance as well. It's not enough that you have a bachelor's degree, Josh. It's not enough that you have a master's or a PhD. Your proposed endeavor is the foundation of your NIW. Number two, depending on what you do, there are certain things that are not negotiable, and I would explain. If you are a researcher and you have 0 publications, if you're a researcher and even if you have publications but it has not been cited, that's a problem. So if you're a researcher and you have a solid proposed endeavor, but you have no publication, that is not good, because predominantly for a researcher, your work is to research and publish. Research and publish. And so If you don't have any research and there are no publications and no citation, that is a problem. However, from my experience, your endeavor is the deal breaker. And so many other factors goes into a strong NIW. Now, even after you have been able to secure, you have your advanced degree, you have a solid proposed endeavor, let's say you have some certifications, you have membership, you have evidence of salary or remuneration, they are all good. But how does it is 7059905? I'll be more than happy. Of course, I want to evaluate to make sure that you're an eligible candidate. And then if you are, we can discuss the next steps. It's very important that I know you're an eligible candidate. Sometimes people assume that just because they have an advanced degree, we are almost done anyway. Okay, all right. Let's see. You're welcome. You're very welcome. All right, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good evening. Please follow our social media pages. AB Legal Consult on Facebook, AB Legal Consult on Instagram, and AB Legal Consult on YouTube. Also, please follow AB Legal Consult on LinkedIn, and on TikTok is the Immigrant's Attorney. Please follow us for immigration updates, immigration tips, and of course, immigration content as well. We look forward to coming your way next week, Friday. But on Wednesdays, we have webinars. We have free webinars on Wednesdays. If you want to be part of our WhatsApp group page, please send me a WhatsApp message at 703-705-9905. Drop a message on WhatsApp and say you want to be part of the WhatsApp group page. And we post the Zoom link for our free webinar on Wednesday. So on Wednesdays, what we do is that one, the webinar is free. Number two, we create a safe space for people to come in and ask their questions. I know it's not good. It's going to be difficult for people to ask certain questions here on live stream when so many on TikTok, we have about 5K people watching, YouTube, a number of people, and then of course on Facebook. But on Wednesdays, we create that safe space. It's on Zoom, it's not recorded. And so come in and ask your questions. All sorts of questions. It's very intimate. I really enjoy the Wednesday webinars. It's very intimate. So please join us on Wednesday. If you want to be part of our WhatsApp page, we don't bombard you with updates. Of course, we post on our webinars, about our webinars, we post on any immigration updates that there is. And then as and when we have videos, we post. We are not constantly posting on that page to bombard you with lots of information. So if you want to be part of that group page, please drop a message on that WhatsApp number, 703-705-9905. Let me know that you want to be part of it and we'll definitely add you. Also, please head to Amazon. I published a book, The Immigrant's Guide. It's It's affordable. It's everything about immigration. For those that are looking to enter the United States, and then those that are here, there's something in there for everybody. Um, okay, Cup. Let me tell you, you can do whatever, but it's not even going to work. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay, you should be ashamed of yourself. The Besta, I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Kakra, please send my love to Penny. I know she's been calling me. Tell her I know I owe her a phone call. I'll call. She should give me a call on Saturday, tomorrow. All right. Okay, guys, have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. And I look forward to coming your way again next week, Friday. If you want to be part of the webinar on Wednesdays, please shoot us a message on WhatsApp 703-705-9905. And I'll definitely add you to it. Okay, BKA concept. Hello, AB. About RFE for prong 2 and 3. What is it about RFE for prong 2 and 3? Please send me a DM. I handle the TikTok myself. So send me a DM. I have to go and then I'll respond and we can discuss it. Are you talking about well positioned and then the prong 3 for NIW? I'll definitely be happy to discuss more. So please send me a DM and then I'll catch up with you. Have a good night and I'll see you on Friday. And for those that will be part of our webinar, I'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you for joining.